Radio.
This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, our special guest today has been a champion for companion animals for decades. She is a best-selling author, and she is the go-to veterinarian you've heard and seen on many TV and radio shows. Please join me in giving pause and applause to the versatile and talented Dr. Carol Osborne. Welcome to the show, Dr. Carol.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, you pet pals, you're in for a real treat because Dr. Carol is here today, and she's going to share some savvy tips on how you can help your pet stay safe when the temperatures soar. And as you know, they have been off the charts. And as an integrative veterinarian, she will also unleash some holistic treatments for dog and cat ailments. Hey, we got you for a 2-for-1, Dr. Carol. We're going to dive in all of this after we take this quick break. So you all know the drill. Sit, stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Kitty Poo Club reinvented the litter box. No more scrubbing that stinky plastic tray. Or worrying, oh my God, do my guests smell that? No cleaning, no scrubbing, no more stink. You are going to love it. Your cats are going to love it. Go to kittypooclub.com, and when you order, save 30% on your first auto ship. Visit kittypooclub.com, use code MEOW30 at checkout, and join the club, the Kitty Poo Club.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now, back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today is Dr. Carol Osborne. That's a name you hear a lot in the world of pets and veterinary medicine. I'm deep in the heart of Dallas, Dr. Carol, which you know the temperatures are awful. Heat is not a good friend to dogs or cats, is it?
It isn't. And something a lot of people don't realize, Arden, is that unlike you and I, pets don't sweat. So they are far more subject to getting overheated more quickly than you might realize.
Yeah, explain that, because I know that when I moved from California to Dallas, I did not perspire. I sweat all through my pores, all over my body. So tell us a little bit, because I know they don't have the same kind of skin as we do. So what are some signs that a dog or a cat is getting too hot?
You probably will notice the only way that dogs and cats can lose heat is to open mouth pant. So if you see your pet with their mouth open and their tongue kind of goes from light pink to a much darker, almost purplish color, those are the beginning signs. And as they get hotter and hotter, they'll start to drool, pant, stagger. If you should see that, certainly you want to bring them inside into a nice, cool, air-conditioned environment, offer them something cool to drink. If you have your handy little first aid kit or a nice thermometer, take their temperature, normal temperature in dogs and cats, anywhere from 101 to 103. When you start to hit about 105, very dangerous, because then we risk brain damage. So bring your pet inside, give them something cool to drink. If you can, make a little cool bathtub. That's easier with dogs than cats. Put your dog in a cool bathtub and submerge the head. That's a big deal. And call your veterinarian. Go over the situation. In most cases, everything would be fine.
Now, I've also heard, and please verify, that when a dog or a cat is getting too hot outside, they will actually sweat through their paw pads.
Well, the one place that pets do have sweat gland, underdeveloped, poorly functional sweat gland, is in their feet, in their paw pads. And so, hence, that's why they open mouth pants.
Okay. So, all right. I teach pet first aid. I've been doing it for 12 years, veterinary approved and everything. And I have a line that tell people that they can use, like you suggested, cool water, never ice, because I say ice, not nice, baby. So what's the danger of someone trying to give an ice bath to a dog or a cat who's overheated, or have them eat ice?
It's too extreme. Remember, we want to do everything in moderation. So cool water, cool cloth, stay away from the ice at a moment like this, if you will. And, something else that's happy, they've got all these health trackers. You could, put one right on your pet's collar, and they'll give you your pet's temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, etc. So things like that are easy, and the wearable tech collars can help an owner to become aware of something like your pet's overheating, where you otherwise might not know that.
Yeah. Now, I feel like I finally got a smartwatch, so I guess I'm with everybody now in this year, 2023. But you tapped into something I think is pretty cool, and there's technology happening in the world of pets, dogs and cats. What's your take on some of these wearable tech monitors starting to get the bugs out and be very effective?
I think that they're terrific. They hook right up to your cell phone, so they can alert you as well as your veterinarian to all kinds of issues at a moment's notice. So, look into them, watch out for all the sales hype. But I think they're terrific. And, another thing, Arden, is, pet sunblock, especially if you have a light skinned or a pet without much fur, they could get sunburned and be subject to skin cancer, just like you and I. You want to find a pet sunblock with an SPF 30 plus. And remember, no zinc oxide. It's okay for people, but it's toxic to pets. And the most sensitive areas for the sun would be the nose, the ears, the feet, and the tail.
I did not realize it. What is the deal with zinc oxide for us in our skin versus dogs and cats? I didn't know that. Read the labels. Very important then.
Always read your labels. I can't tell you the exact toxic principle, but I can tell you that that's a big no-no when it comes to pets. And something else to remember is, for you pet lovers out there that have the little flat-faced breeds, Frenchies, pugs, Bostons, remember that those dogs, by virtue of the breeding, they already have respiratory compromise. So they are twice as sensitive to overheating as a regular dog with a normal respiratory tract. And those dogs, really be careful, because it doesn't take much for them to go into respiratory distress.
Now, I don't know, you probably know this too, but for 31 years, the Labrador Retriever has been considered the top dog by the American Kennel Club as popular breeds.
Sure.
And this year, it's the French Bulldog. What do you think about that, Dr. Carroll?
Well, I think that they're very cute. As you just mentioned, America's most popular pet. What's unfortunate when we are America's most popular pet is we get overbred and we get inbred and everything else. So health issues that new pet owners are forced to live with for a lifetime become more and more prevalent. So in addition to the respiratory efforts, there are other problems that I, as a single veterinarian here in Ohio, see more often than not, with tummy troubles and different skin troubles, things like that. So they're wonderful dogs.
Skin issues too, right?
Oh yeah. If you're going out to get a Frenchie, you really need to do your homework and watch out for those online puppy mills, because they're everywhere. So you end up with a dog that brings you happiness for the next 15 or 20 years, as opposed to a big pile of vet bills.
I like it. So we've talked about, paying attention to the cues and all that. There's a lot of folks that like to take their pets to a beach or have them swim in a pool or be on their boat. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, Dr. Carol, I'm hoping you can unleash some safety tips on that aspect of summertime. All right, everybody, you know the drill. Just sit, stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. Oh Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Kitty Poo Club reinvented the litter box. No more scrubbing that stinky plastic tray or worrying, oh my God, do my guests smell that? Kitty Poo Club has solved the stink. And now the worst part of cat ownership is hassle-free. No cleaning, no scrubbing, no more stink. And the best thing is, you don't have to buy some oversized contraption that will break down. Kitty Poo Club litter boxes are manufactured to make your life easier. You have one cat? Easy peasy. A small mountain lion? No problem. You are going to love it. Your cats are going to love it. Believe me, there are good reasons why we sold over 3 million boxes. Go to kittypooclub.com, read the amazing reviews, and when you order, save 30% on your first auto ship. Visit kittypooclub.com, use code MEOW30 at checkout, and join the club, the Kitty Poo Club.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is John O'Hurley reminding you you're listening to the O Behave Show with Art and Moore on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letter box, that is. Now back to O Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I am digging our special guest. She is Dr. Carol Osborne. I want you to please, after the show, go to drcarol.com and check out. She has created a lineup of very, very, very good products for our pets. Lots of tips and tricks. And I know your practice is in Ohio. Do you want to give that website as well?
Oh, absolutely. Chagrin Falls petclinic.com. Chagrin's a funny word. CHAGRIN Falls petclinic.com. Chagrin is an Indian word that refers to the Chagrin River that runs through our state.
Oh, okay. Well, you had me at grin, but it's chagrin. Okay. So, all right. There's some pets that dig being in the water. There's some pets that are on boats. There's some pets that are going to be popping in a pool. What are some tips you can give us to keep them safe?
Well, first of all, remember that not all pets can swim. So if you're thinking of taking your pet to the beach or to the pool, you might consider, first of all, getting a pet life jacket that fits well. And second of all, get your pet some swimming lessons. And I know that sounds silly, but that's the truth. Now, if you have a very old or a very young dog or a dog suffering from a chronic, health issue, those dogs are best off not swimming. If you have like a sighthound or a whippet, hardly any body fat, they're not buoyant, so probably not a great idea. And then we come back to the Frenchies and the flat-faced breeds, and they have cute little bodies and short little legs that are less than ideal for swimming. But if you got a lab or a retriever or another type of a dog like that, they probably will love to swim as long as they know how. Remember that seawater, if you're at the ocean, and pool water is not a substitute for drinking water. So you're going to have to bring some nice fresh water with you. You're going to have to be right there with your pet all the time. Never leave your pet alone at the beach or at the pool, because accidents happen and they could slip in and drown very, very quickly. Remember that the decks around a swimming pool, just like the grass and the sand at the beach, get very, very hot. I tell my patients, if it's too hot for you to walk outside barefoot, it's too hot for your pet. So you can get booties and there's little things you can put on their foot pads, but be aware of that. I see pets all summer long coming in and their foot pads literally, they burn right off.
Ouch. What about with water in the ear? Because that, to me, I remember I grew up on a lake.
Great point. They call it swimmer's ear. So if you got a pet that loves to swim, when we're done swimming, rinse them off, get the bacteria, et cetera, from the water or the chlorine off their skin, and clean out their ears. Their ears need to be clean and dry, whether it's the chlorine or the salt water. If you don't have a little fancy veterinary ear cleaner, you can make your own with a 50-50 distilled water to white vinegar. Use a cotton swab and get the ears so that they're clean and dry. And no matter how much fun they're having, just like with a child, after 10 or 15 minutes, they need to come in. They need to have a rest period and relax a little bit, because they will fatigue, and then heat stroke is right around the corner. So you have to use good common sense and be on your toes at all times. And if you're driving around here and there, remember that the worst place for your pet is in a parked car. If it's 80 outside in a parked car, it'll become 120 degrees in 10 minutes. So they've made it a law in most states, but never leave your pet in a parked car, no matter where you're going, and especially if you're going to the mall.
Thank you for saying that. I do want to shift gears a little bit, because you know so much about so many topics to help our pets. And I love the fact that you went to Ohio State. Is that right? That's where you got your veterinary degree?
I did. I'm a Buckeye.
The Ohio State. Isn't Ohio State. It's the, right? Did I do it right?
I don't know about the. It might be.
They always say, like when they have football games, the football player from the Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
Whatever. I humbly only went to Purdue. I went to Purdue.
Purdue is wonderful as well.
Integrative veterinarian. That's a nice title, because it seems like you're embracing both worlds. Can you talk about what made you get into that, and maybe share a few holistic treatments for our dogs and cats?
I am. Something you might find interesting, Arden, is that the current estimate is over 400,000 dogs drowned in swimming pools each year.
Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a big number. Now, as far as being integrative, what integrative means is that we integrate or combine traditional Western veterinary medicine with the softer, more natural, holistic Eastern therapies, so that we can optimize health and wellness for each individual pet based on their specific needs.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I like that, bridging both.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to remember that, more chemicals and more pesticides are not in many cases the best path to optimal health. So you have to make pertinent judgments that apply individually and specifically, to each pet.
So you created drcarol.com. Tell us what that's all about, because you're not only treating patients, you're also created a line of supplements and other things that are designed to bring out their best.
Well, thank you. I did. I have one of the products that I patented, PAAWS, Pause, is a pet anti-aging wellness system given to dogs as a chewable treat in the morning and evening based on age and body weight. It's a combination of about 46 different natural vitamins, minerals, herbs, antioxidants, enzymes, anti-aging factors, etc. And it's been on the market for 21 years to date.
Congratulations.
In our original clinical trials, what we found is that you can absolutely turn back the clock or retard the aging process, if you will, in your pet. What we found was that instead of pets coming, spending a lot of time at the vet, I guess, if you will, between the ages of 7 and 9, again, that was 21 years ago, we were able to extend the healthy lifespan of these dogs by 2 to 3 years, which is a lot when you think about the lifespan of your dog. So the reality in the anti-aging research that I've done is that you can reverse, retard, or prevent up to 90% of the degenerative diseases associated with aging.
Wow. I mean, wait a minute. I can't just say wow. I got to say bow wow.
Well, it's shocking and amazing, but the reality is that it's an absolute fact. So all kinds of diseases. I mean, if you think about it, Arden, the fact is you are what you are when you're born. So what is longevity? Longevity is 30% genetics. That's how we're born. and 70% lifestyle. So we can't change our genetics, but when it comes to lifestyle, what are we really referring to? We're referring to the diet or nutrition, diet, exercise, and the care that you give to your pet. So if you're a bedding person, there's a 70% chance that if you address these issues in your pet, you can change the odds. It's 70 against 30. The odds are definitely in your favor.
Now, one area, let's talk about piddle, because sometimes when dogs get older, or cats, there could be some issue with incontinence. Is there any preventive tips or tips you can give people in that area?
Sure. For the most part, at least in my experience as a veterinarian, we're referring to elderly female dogs that unconsciously dribble urine, or in most cases, the owner might find a little wet spot when they wake up from where they've been sleeping. And the reality is, it's similar to why women over 40 wet their pants when they sneeze. Why? Because you ran out of estrogen. Estrogen is the female hormone. And one of the many things that estrogen does is it works on what we call the lower urethral sphincter, which is a little valve that closes so that we don't leak urine. Dogs and cats are spayed earlier and earlier and earlier, sometimes prior to even 6 weeks of age, so their bodies don't get the estrogen that they need for many things, including urine continence.
Oh, that's interesting.
I see dogs, spayed dogs, leaking urine, unfortunately, at ages of 1 and 2 years old. When I first started practicing, maybe 8, 10, 12 years old, you would see that. But because dogs are getting spayed so much earlier these days, that's not uncommon, and it's nothing to worry about. You could talk to your veterinarian. There are estrogen replacements that are available that will nip this in the bud. And then there are also prescription items like Proin that closes that sphincter.
How do you spell the prescription?
Proin, Proin. That'll nip that in the bud in less than 7 days.
Wow.
And then there are some estrogens that have been released onto the market, estriol being the primary one, that can also be used to nip that issue.
I love it. Hey, everyone. We're speaking with Dr. Carol Osborne. She is a go-to veterinarian on many, many topics. And do you have a parting message for everybody today? Because I've been schooled in a good way with you today.
Well, I would say enjoy the summer. Don't let your pet get overheated. And we look forward to having some more conversations with Arden. And listen, guys, if you're at the beach, salt water, drinking the salt water for your pet, it's not okay, because many dogs end up with saltwater toxicity. So go to the beach, go to the pool, and keep a lot of fresh water handy.
I think that's great advice. You're making a splashing success there, Dr. Carol Osborne.
Well, thank you.
All right. Hey, everybody. I also want to give a shout out to my producer, Mark Winter. He is the surgeon of sound. Pet Life Radio is the biggest pet radio network on the planet. And humbly, the show you're listening to, Oh Behave, has been on the air longer than any other pet podcast on the planet. We've been on the air since 2007. Somebody named Oprah likes us, so that's cool. Still waiting for the car, Oprah. Until next time, and if you would, check me out. Go to ardenmoore.com and follow me on YouTube. I'd really appreciate that. Until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do, and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.